Good morning. What is going on? So, I'm going to do something a little different this morning that I haven't ever tried before. And I've never even thrown one of these before. And that is an Alabama rig. We're going to throw this thing in salt water today and see how it works. Now, I've looked online a little bit at FWC and tried to find regulations. In Florida, correct me if I'm wrong, you're allowed 5 hooks on an Alabama rig. And I got all 5. These are all 1/4 ounce jig heads with 3.8 Kitech swimmers on it. But 5 hooks are allowed in Florida on an Alabama rig, but I don't know if there's any stipulation for saltwater versus freshwater that I could find. I couldn't see it. If you know about it, let me know, because I don't want to be doing something wrong or illegal, throwing an Alabama rig in saltwater. But from what I could find, no rules about it. So, we're going to be throwing the big Alabama rig right there and see if we can catch some snook and jack, whatever wants to eat. These are very, very cool rigs. I've actually never even thrown an Alabama rig in freshwater for bass. It's just, I don't know, a lot of grass around lakes in Florida, so I never really throw them. But it should be fun. It could be very cool. I'm probably going to target bridges because I know Alabama rigs work well in deeper water, where you throw them in deep water and you kind of just slowly work them across the bottom. That little school just kicks right across the bottom. So we're going to try some bridges maybe. If that doesn't work, we'll throw them along the edges of dock lines. We'll throw them in channel passes. The problem is around here there's not a lot of deep water. The deepest water you're going to find is around bridges. Bridges in the inlet. But I'm not going to fish in the inlet. But we're going to throw this Alabama rig and see how it works. Should be good. Alright, now I don't know if it's going to work or not, but I'm going to throw the A-rig right along the seawall like I would work a swimbait or a top water, and just pull it right along the edge of the wall and see what goes on. Seawall was a no-go. We are going to go over and hit a bridge and see if we can just run along the deep parts of a bridge in the piling and see if we can get smacked. You know, I'm a little apprehensive about it because there's just a lot of snags and a lot of junk underneath bridges, and I only have 2 of these Alabama rigs with me, but we'll see what we can do. Sometimes we gotta risk it to get bit. Alright, first bridge of the day. There's not much current here, which is bad. You want current around bridges when you're fishing for snook, but we'll see what happens. We'll give it a few minutes anyways. But the current's not running here, so I'm not really going to hold my breath. It's going to kind of be like, if we get bit, we get bit. We're only going to fish for probably 10 minutes. Alright, spot number 1 was a no-go. We threw for about 10-15 minutes and didn't get any bites. Well, it felt like I got bumped once, but I don't know. But we're going to keep moving and hop to another bridge, and then if the bridge isn't happening, the second one, we're just going to throw docks, and I'm just going to work it right along the edge of dock lines and in between docks and see how it works. It's very hard to say, you know, what's the right way to present it, because I've never really fished Alabama rigs, and fishing them in saltwater, I don't know if there's very much information on that. You know, the closest thing, if you know saltwater fishing or offshore fishing specifically, is that when trolling, people throw out teaser rigs, which look exactly like an Alabama rig, but there's no hooks on them. Just imagine an Alabama rig 10 times bigger than that. And they use them to bring in sailfish and tuna and stuff like that, just offshore pelagics. But it should work, I think, inshore. I know if I threw this into a school jack, I could probably get a jack on every single hook, which would be really, really funny to do. So that would be cool to do. But we're gonna throw it around a bridge and then move around some docks and just see what we can do to work it. We're gonna try to figure out how to get bit on the Alabama rig. All right, bridge number 2. Got the Alabama rig still going. It's pretty much all we're gonna throw today. This bridge has a lot of snags under it, so I don't know if this is gonna work or not. I think I already bumped something down there. Oh, God. Get out, get out, get out. Snook. Turn, 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 turn. Yes. How about that? Isn't that? Oh. Yes. That right there is a snook on the Alabama rig, and not a bad one at that either. He is very, very healthy, and that was only my 3rd cast of the morning right there. The Alabama rig apparently works. This snook is really powerful, man. It's a little fish, but he's been fighting me ever since I got him in the boat. I'm gonna measure him and release him. Alright, the bridge was successful, I'd say. We caught one snook, you know, we weren't ripping them out one after another, but we got one snook, you know, that was the only bite I really had, and we were able to pull them out, and it's cool to see that they'll at least eat it, and I know I'm not wasting my time here. But we fished the bridge pretty well, pretty thoroughly, so we're going to float a dock line and just throw this A-rig right along the edges of the docks and in between the spaces in the docks. We really won't be able to flip this inside docks without getting snagged probably, but we'll just make big long parallel casts and pull them right along the pilings. Essentially exactly what I was doing here at the bridge, where I'm making a cast along the pilings and coming down, and the fish sit parallel in the pilings and wait for food to come through. That's the game plan. Snook right there, out from the dock. Not a big one, but he came out and scarfed the Alabama rig. Get this net. Alright, fish number 2 on the Alabama rig. Just another nice little snook. He's probably only 20 inches maybe. But that was very cool to see that it's working. And he is a awesome fish. But we're going to release him real quick and just keep rolling. Alright, it's about 9:15 right now. So I've been throwing the A-rig for, I don't know, 2.5, 3 hours pretty much. It's been okay. 2 snook. Can't complain about that. And one of them was a good one. The first snook we caught was a decent size, like a medium sized snook, and then the other one was a little one, but that's all right. It's working well, but I noticed I was making a drift just flowing out with the current, and when I got to where the water started to get a little bit clearer and the clarity kind of picked up a little bit, I stopped getting any bites and I wasn't getting any follows or anything like that. So I think I need to run to some muddier, dirty water, because salt water can get very clear and they can clearly see those metal arms sticking out of the Alabama rig. So I think that's turning them off. But that doesn't mean it's not going to work. It just means we need to change locations and get to some dirtier water. That's the plan. I'm pretty impressed right now with it. Honestly, I think it's good. I'm not a huge fan. You know, maybe if I throw it, I'm not going to throw 5 hooks again because it just feels unnecessary. In that second snook I caught, he got like he had 2, I don't know if he swung at both of them or what, but he had 2 jig heads in his mouth, and then one was like stuck in his back. It's just not good. So, that being said, we're gonna make a run and maybe get on some more fish. see snook sitting up here in the shallows. I have to see 2 snook. One on my right is not as big as the one on the left, but we'll try for the one on the right first anyhow. You saw that pretty far out. He's inspecting it. Eat it, eat it, eat it. Sitting right here. Come on, swinger. He's just sitting right beneath the boat right now. He's literally underneath my boat. Alright, that one, he was very, very interested, but he wouldn't go for it. But I got another one sitting right in front of me. I'm kind of snagged up here. Spooked that second one, spooked. Dang it, dude, that first one was literally like, he would follow it, nose it, and he got all the way to the boat and he wouldn't take though. Alright, I am done for the morning. The wind has flared up quite a bit and the bite has very, very much died. But the Alabama rig, I don't really know what to think about it because, you know, first off, in about the first hour and a half fishing, I caught a nice snook, or 2 snook, and one was nice and one was little. And I thought, all right, I might be onto something. This might be pretty cool. And as the day progressed, it just got slower and slower. And I was talking about earlier, I don't know if I would have done better if I was throwing a single jig head or a single swim bait or the Alabama rig. And I definitely think the clearer the water got, the less likely I was to get bit by this. And I think that's why both of my bites came very early in the morning, because there was still not a lot of light and they really couldn't examine the arms very well. Snook in general and saltwater fish in general are very, very gun shy sometimes, where they'll scare away from straight braid or they'll scare away from heavier leader, especially in clear water conditions. I don't know if it was worth really throwing this. I don't think it would have made a difference. I bet that first snook on the bridge, he would have ate a single swim bait on its own if I put it through there, and same with the other little one. I think they would have both ate a single one. I don't think this really drew out that extra bite, which, you know, Alabama rigs, how I've always heard them for bass fishing is when the bite's really tough and they don't want to eat anything else, you can throw an Alabama rig and they'll crush them still. And that's part of the reason why they're not allowed to be used in the FLW and the Elite Series and stuff like that. They can't throw Alabama rigs. At least I'm pretty sure they can't. But I don't know. It was fun, at least trying something different. I doubt I'll throw it again. Maybe I will. I would have really liked to catch some Jack Crevalle on it. I think they would have crushed this thing, and I probably could have caught 5 Jack all on one throw if there was enough of them. But it was weird. I really didn't see any. Normally you see Jacks popping around and making a bunch of noise and eating glass minnows, but it was a very, very quiet day today, which is strange. But today was fun. Good day. Always nice to get out and throw. Wish I could have maybe caught a little more on the Alabama rig. Would have been cooler. But it is what it is. I appreciate you guys very much. Thanks for watching. See you.